right. Defensive architect here. My name is James Anderson, the defensive architect, and today we're doing commentary on the Saints and Panthers game here. So far, so good this season. We had a game against the Raiders that was just, I mean, that if you haven't seen that, go back to that video and watch that because that was an absolute textbook game defensively. We had 5 interceptions in that game. We had 5 big interceptions in that game, and one was taken back to the house. One was scored, so it was just a tremendous game. In this Saints game, division games are always interesting because it's like they're always intense, and they're always like big. They're always close, and the Tampa Bay game, we lost that one, so we definitely had no business losing that game. We can't afford to lose division games, and this is just in football. Period. You just can't afford to lose any divisional games. But of course, it doesn't mean that you won't lose them. It just means that the stakes are that much higher, when you're playing these division games, because it could be, well, not could be, it pretty much is the determining factor of whether or not you make the playoffs. Okay, so division games usually comes down to a division game. In most cases, when it comes to these playoff berths and the standings and records, win-loss records and stuff like that, so division games are really, really big to me. Right now, they're driving down the field. Tua plays for the Saints here in this particular season, and so far so good. They're kind of mixing it up too. So they've ran the ball a couple of times. They passed the ball a couple of times. I think they're going to run here. I believe so. The play action. That was a good play action play there. We didn't get to him fast enough. We were practically right there, but the running back did a good job of picking up that blitz. So, and because we anticipated a run, I tend to blitz on run plays that I anticipate, and if they don't run, then hopefully I could get to the quarterback, but that didn't happen that time. And they scored relatively quickly here. They took out about 3 minutes, maybe close to 4 minutes on the game clock, and they scored there. But when we got the ball back, we pretty much held the ball for 5 minutes, and we scored right back on them. So now it's tied with just over 6 minutes to go. And we'll have to see what this defensive sequence will look like. But, so far the season's been going pretty well. But we need to be more consistent. I will say that, a lot of times it's like our defense tends to get a little bit shaky against certain teams, and other teams like the Raiders, it just turns into a textbook perfect game. And, you just have to be prepared to weather the storm in most situations. And I think in this game, we definitely had a lot of storm to weather. So you'll see what I'm talking about. But, so far so good. The score is tied. They're driving down the field again. So they're not really trying to go for the big play per se. Nice pick. Beautiful pick. Burch is like one of the best corners in the league right now in this Madden universe. In this simulated Madden universe, Burch is really good for my team. But another textbook play there that you just saw with that pick. Lurking and stuff like that. So that was actually a perfect situation to lurk. And that's exactly what ended up happening. He tried to force a play, he tried to force it in that window. And Tua is a good quarterback, but he's not really that good, but he's a decent quarterback. And as I mentioned in other videos, when you have a decent quarterback to decent to okay quarterback, when they try to make these particular plays that you just saw there that he tried to force, that window just gets a little bit too tight for them. So when they try to force that play, it ends up a pick in most cases because they're not good enough to really make those tight, to fit those tight windows. So far, so good here in this drive. I mean, from what I understand, they've wasted about 5 minutes. Oh, good sack. They wasted about 5, maybe 4 minutes here already. And it's only because, like, we're going back and forth with, the yardage. So every now and then I'll make a defensive play, and then they kind of offset that defensive stop to, like, maybe a 7-yard play or, stuff like that. So things kind of going back and forth between the defense and the offense. And as a result, they're wasting a lot of time. That was good defense right there. That was basically a coverage play. Should have been a coverage sack, but, hey, we'll take it. We got the ball back and stuff. We didn't really do much on offense, so we gave the ball right back to them. We punted the ball back. We wasted about, almost 4 minutes, 6 minutes, really, almost 6 minutes, and we gave the ball back to them. I think I missed a field goal. I think that's what happened there, though, if I'm not mistaken. No, wait, did I miss? I'm not sure what I don't remember what happened on offense, but anyway, I think I punted, because they're like pinned back. So we wasted a lot of time just to punt. But yeah, so far so good in the game, and this is usually how the games go, like the game flow, until either we have blown coverages or the AI starts to cheese a little bit. It seems like things are great, and then all of a sudden, they kind of have like these little breakout moments, or they're like breaking 5 tackles and they have a big run or a big pass play. So I'm kind of waiting for that. That was a pretty good run play there. I'll give them that. That was a pretty decent run play. Okay, so there's that slant there. I anticipated a run play there, and it kind of blew up against me. So he ended up. I'm sorry, not a run play. I'm sorry. I anticipated. I anticipated that they would have a short play, but I thought he was going to hold the ball a little longer. Not run play. I'm sorry. I didn't mean run play. I meant to say that I anticipated him to hold the ball a little bit longer for like a drag play or something, but he just threw a straight slant. So now I'm anticipating a run play. And he got some pretty decent yards out of that. Okay, so far, they're just driving the ball along. They're just getting first downs and all this kind of stuff. So now we're going to have to kind of turn the defense up a little bit more, and get a little bit tighter with our coverages. But they're running the ball, and they're running the ball well. So this is another thing that's kind of frustrating at times, because our defense is predicated on stopping the pass, really. We're giving up a lot of run plays, and I'm not really going to give in to blitzing or give in to giving up a run play. So I'm trying to play the pass as best I can, but they scored anyway, nonetheless. So so now they're up by a touchdown because of that out route there that wasn't well defended. And I think that I was playing man-to-man. And I should have played a cover 2 or some sort there. I should have shifted to that. But we scored in the opening possession in the second half, so now we're tied, and we got to turn our defense up a little bit more, and we got to do better against the run, because now they're just Now they're just going to run heavy because they can, and we got to shut that down so we could get some stops and get some big plays on defense. The good thing is, out of everything that they're doing, they still have less than 200 total yards. So we're still doing okay in that department in terms of our defense. So to try to do their little end around thing there. And a lot of teams have been doing that against us, like end arounds and counters and stuff like that. And, it's just a testament to how good the defense is when you see teams doing that against you, when they're running counters, when they're trying to do little cute stuff, jet sweeps and reversals and stuff like that. They're just reverses, rather. They're just trying to get cute, and there's a pick there. And I think that's to the house. That's to the house. Yes, indeed. So we got our turnover. And that's the thing. When you stay consistent with your game plan, those are the results that are going to happen. Like, it's eventually going to happen because Tua, like I said, is not that good of a quarterback, and they're doing pretty good with their run plays, and they have less than 100 yards rushing, but they're on their way. But by the time they do pass the ball, they have to pass the ball in these tight windows, and they cannot, in many cases, unless they're Aaron Rodgers or something, they're not going to be able to make those tight throws. And that's exactly what you saw there. Just like when you saw my guy Birch intercept the ball earlier, you saw my guy there, number 3. He, and that guy is just as good too. So I do very well with setting him up for success because he's made some really big plays on defense for us all throughout the season. But yeah, when you see these guys trying to throw those tight ropes and those tight window throws, they end up making mistakes, and that's what you're trying to force. You're trying to force those plays, and that's exactly what happened. So now they're trying to, get a little bit more conservative. They're running drags. They're going to start running those curls and stuff like that. So I'm going to start thinking about running a little bit more of a man-to-man coverage and stuff like that, since they're trying to do those. Since he's trying to throw those throws, because this is like what, the 4th time he's ran like a drag route of some sort or some kind of out route. So they're trying to get in rhythm again, and they're trying to get going. And so far they're successful in this drive at least. And there's another blown assignment there. So gotta clean that up. But again, they're wasting a lot of time. That's just what I like. I like them having to run these plays where they have to run these out routes, run these short runs, do these things, and as a result, they're taking a lot of time off the clock. And so I'm okay with this. I'm still trying to go for a stop, but it's like, I'd rather them drive the ball against us, drive down the field against us, than throw big plays. That was a good stop there. That was definitely a good stop. I love those stuff runs and stuff. Those are always cool to me. So I'm going to run my blitz zone package and see what happens there. Nice. Very good defense. Very, very, very good defense. That's what you want. They do all that driving down the field, and just to go 3 and out when they get to the red zone and settle for a field goal. That's exactly what you want to see. Us, on the other hand, on offense, in this particular possession, we didn't do jack nothing again. So we had to punt the ball back to them, and as a result, the punt was shanked again, and they got the ball at their own like 45 or something. And here we go again with the blown coverages, especially those corner routes. Sometimes those corner routes really get us, or when they kind of throw the ball down the seams. That's the weakness of our defense. I will admit that. Like, the weaknesses of our defense, because of our play style, our vulnerabilities are down the seams. and in the corners, not the out routes, because we're lurking and we're looking for those, but the corner routes, and those are really like killing us at times. Okay, so they score here in this possession, and they're about to go up 3 points, and this is yet another divisional thriller. One of those divisional thriller games. But we did score again when we got the next possession on offense, but we missed the extra point. So now it's a 1 possession game instead of a 2 possession game. Well, it was going to be 1 possession either way, but yeah. But now all they need is a field goal to tie the game instead of needing a touchdown to take the lead. So, so now if they settle for a field goal, they could tie the game, which is what I don't want. But if it all comes down to that, then so be it. I'd rather that than score a touchdown. Okay, so you can see here that I'm turning to the man-to-man coverage because he's starting to go to those short, quick games. So if he's throwing the quick game, we want to be right there with them. So we don't want to have to catch back up to them and run right back downfield to make a tackle because we're too busy playing zone. So instead, now we're playing man-to-man, and we are kind of covering those short throws. Oh boy, that's bad right there. That's really bad. Yeah, that defensive line has to do better. That defensive line has to do better. Yeah, so that should have been a sack. If anything, that should have been a coverage sack, which are my favorite sacks because everything is filled up and covered. Every hole is plugged, so that you can't really do much of anything after that but take a sack or run off, and that's what I like. But in that play, there was just nothing happening there. He got way too much time in the pocket. We're playing man-to-man, but we're anticipating a run here, which is exactly what happened, but he scored anyway. So that's not good. We got to do better, of course. So we need to definitely score in the next possession, which I believe we didn't do. Oh, we did. Okay. So we scored on the next possession. We took about another 4 minutes off the clock. It is a high-scoring game, high-scoring affair. There's a lot of sacrifices as far as what we're giving up. We gave up a lot of rushing yards. Well, we gave up about 100 rushing yards, which I'm surprised is all we gave up. And on this play, we did give up a big play. Tua did throw for over 300 yards, and we gave up over 400 total yards. So we had a pretty bad defensive game. We got the turnovers we needed, but we just gave up way too many drives in this game, and as a result, he was just totally just chopping us up. Tua was chopping us up. Yeah, so they figured something out, and they just started trying to chop us up. That was good coverage there, good defense, but I mean, even with that throw, that's a byproduct of just us covering downfield and giving up those underneath throws, and we weren't getting to him fast enough. That's the whole thing. Like, our coverages were good, but we gave him too much time. So, the defensive line has to do better in that regard. And here we are once again. We're back in the red zone once again, and they're running, and they've had success against us running. And this guy has 3 touchdowns and 109 yards rushing. So, that's just not going to cut it. That's just not going to cut it. But that's the thing, it's like Every now and then, you're going to have perfect games like the Raider game. I keep referring back to it, and you're going to have games like this where it's just, it just seems like not much of anything works, and you're just getting chopped up, just getting all jacked up and everything. But you just have to play through those moments, especially with your first year playing with your build. And that's the end of the game there. We threw a pick late game. We pretty much drove all the way down to the end zone, and we tried to force a play, and it got picked off. And as a result, we lost. So this was probably, I would say this was probably our worst game that we had defensively out of the whole season, even though, we've had a pretty decent season. But, nonetheless, for what it's worth, we did get the turnovers that we needed to get and such. But, hey, what can you do? You got to move on to the next week. But, yeah, that's our time, guys. Thanks for watching this. And until next time, you guys have a beautiful day. And I'm signing out. Have a great day.